Okay, welcome everyone to today's Speaker Spotlight. I'm Regina Curtis, the co-founder of Next Global Events, and today you're going to get to meet one of the speakers who's joining us for our upcoming conference, What's Next for Your Spirituality? This is going to be on July 9th and 10th, and today I am chatting with Danielle. So let me bring her up to the stage. Hello, hello. How are you
Hello.
today, Danielle?
I am wonderful. It's a beautiful sunny day. It's gorgeous out. How are you?
Nice. Yeah, it is not a sunny day. It is not gorgeous out. It's a rainy day here in Chicago, but I actually love rainy days. So that's totally fine for me. Remind me, where in the world are you today?
I'm in Kelowna, British Columbia, just outside of Vancouver, Canada.
Got it. Excellent.
Yeah.
Yes, I couldn't remember where you are. Um, okay, so Danielle, you are going to be joining us for the What's Next for Your Spirituality conference. And your what I'd love to know from you right now is what is next for you in your spirituality, right? Where are you headed in this realm for yourself personally?
Just fire it out right to begin
I
with. I
know,
love
right?
it.
I like to I warn people, I'm like, I jump in right in the middle and they're like, oh no, you really do.
Yeah, you do. I love it. Okay. What is next in my spirituality? So I would say I'm coming out of a 3-year cycle where something really deep wanted to be seen within myself. And that's often what happens in the spiritual journey is, you do a lot of inner work and it's for time periods. And then you start to find yourself on the other side of it of like, okay, I've done a lot of that healing, the excavating, and I'm kind of in that phase of my life right now, which really feels like a lot of continuing to find the threads that need to let go, continuing to find the really deep, dark shadows that exist within us
Mm,
around that experience. And it's kind of a really unique place because if I'm being totally honest, it feels a little bit like you're lazy, like you're not really doing all the things that they tell you to do in the spiritual
yes.
world. It's very much of, okay, I did all those things that I needed to do and that helped me. And now I just need to be. I just need to enjoy and integrate and allow this new timeline. But I think it's such an interesting space because we can feel like, am I not doing enough? Do I
Yeah.
need to do more? And so that's really what's next for me.
I love it. I love that. And I love the perspective that you bring on it because um, I feel that way sometimes also about business of like the more like the further along in the journey that I go, it feels like I'm being lazy, but it's because I've actually set up the systems to support me to so that I can actually enjoy my life, which is the fucking point, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or at least for me, that's what it is. And on the spiritual journey, like when I don't know, I actually really, I'm not a big fan of the question when people ask me, like, when was your spiritual awakening? I'm like, every freaking day. Every day I have a spiritual awakening,
Yeah.
sometimes multiple times a day. Like, anytime you come back into the awareness that you're on a spiritual path or on a human being, right, in a meat suit having a spiritual experience, that's an awakening, right? Like, it's like you're
Yeah.
waking up to a new layer of it. Um, and I feel the same around the concept of affirmation. And I know that's the topic that you're going to be on our panel discussion about. And um, affirmation, I think, is one of those things. Like, there's a lot of pieces of there's a lot of advice. There's a lot of merch, like,
Oh,
I
yeah,
guess,
that's a good way to
like
put it. Yeah.
bumper stickers and t-shirts and all the things that have these reminders. And I think that's what they're really there to be, are reminders of the little snippets of wisdom that you get along the way, right? And just like a crystal is like a reminder that there is something bigger at play, there is something that you have access to. It's not necessarily like you can tap into that without even holding the crystal in your hand. If you hold it in your hand, there's an amplification of it because you're like physically holding, like there's something really there. And affirmations, I think, do that as well. But a lot of people just expect them to be magical and just like, I say these words and then it is so. But they're like not listening to the part that's like, oh, you have to actually believe it. And the reason that you're saying these words are to keep reminding yourself. So I'm curious your perspective on affirmation. That's mine, right? What's your perspective?
Yeah, I appreciate what you said there about the crystals. It's funny too when Monica asked me which one I wanted to be a part of, and it was affirmations. I was like, yeah, I don't know if I can get behind that because in my world, I really have a bit of a different perspective, quite similar to yours. But in my world of
Mhm.
mindset, it really is important what our definitions are, what we really believe to be true, and what we believe about affirmation is so important. And normally when someone comes into my world and they say like, I'm doing all the affirmations, I'm doing all the things, I'm like, yeah, stop doing that, you know? And it's not even that I actually want them to stop doing it. I want them to stop believing the perspective that they have on what affirmations are. Like you said, like all the merch and society's telling you that. And so
Mhm.
for me, affirmations is one, understanding that affirmations are really word tracks. That's what I call them. They're word tracks
Mm.
that you repeat back. And I find that when you take the term affirmation out of it, you're able to have a different perspective around it, which is like, oh yeah, these are word tracks. And then the next layer to it is everything is energy. We are the creators of our reality. And so
Mhm.
if we are constantly thinking and speaking a certain thing, that is what we will most likely create for ourselves. So dropping more into the true fundamental of what an affirmation actually is, it's a word track, which is energy, which then creates our reality based on consistency. And like you said, like a crystal, you hold a crystal and you have magical powers. Okay, yes, but no, you hold a crystal and now you're someone who believes in something more than just the physical body. You
Mhm.
believe in whatever those properties might be. It's not the actual crystal that's facilitating it. Of course, that's the metaphor, the tangible like piece of it. But it's the same for affirmations.
Mhm.
Is, you know, if you're saying affirmations because I want more money or I want a partner or I want to be loved or I want to be this, you're already in the disconnected state because it's in something that you don't have.
Mhm.
Versus, I'm just going to say these words casually in my day to day, not put any real meaning around them, kind of like the crystal, and they become so much more effective for you. But I think in affirmations, a big thing too is you have to have a lot of awareness on what are you doing affirmations for. If they really are for a hope and a desire and like a need, you're going to find yourself on the hamster wheel, and then you're going to think that the industry burned you, or you're going to think it's not working. And it
Mhm.
really is fundamentally in my world looking at, well, what are you even saying affirmations for? And what is your relationship to the affirmation, like energetically?
Yeah. Yeah. I love this. So two ways that I like to, or two metaphors that I like to bring in when we're talking about affirmations, whenever I'm kind of playing in this world with clients and collaborators. One is that I love the metaphor of like when you're going on a road trip and you're driving in a certain direction, right? And you see the signs that are like, Toronto this way, and you're like, I'm going in the right direction. Like those signs are affirmations telling you you're on the right track, right? Like they're affirming that you are going the way that you want to go. And so that is one way that you can, physically bring in, like, reminding yourself, like you're putting the road signs there to say, like, I'm choosing this path, this is the way I want to go, and these are the words that help me remember that. Like, I love your the way you say it as like word tracks, right? Like these are the tracks that are like you're on track, the words that are showing you that. And then the other thing is, have you ever tried to like remember a phone number or remember an address or like a number? Like numbers for some reason come to mind because if I think about it, like if I'm trying to document something and somebody says a number to me, whether it's an address or a phone number or whatever, right? And then I have to remember that, I'm like saying it in my head over and over, right? Like the number is 1, 2, 3, 4. And so I'm like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, grab my paper, 1, 2, 3, 4, get my pen, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm like remembering in my head. I'm saying it, I'm repeating it. And I think that's really what the essence of the usage of affirmations is, right? But that piece again gets forgotten. And there is a magical quality to it that once you actually do believe that that is true and you're living in alignment and you're taking actions every single day to be the person who believes that and lives that life, then those affirmations have paved the road, right? They've paved the track to get you there. But it isn't just like I slap some poster on my wall and now it's just magically there. And I think that's the piece where the merch gets like prioritized over, like it gives too much value to just the like the short version of it versus being like, yeah, that's there to be a reminder of all that deeper stuff that got you there, right? It's to just be that anchor point to keep telling you, like, yep, you're on track. Yep, I'm on track. Yes, this is what I'm choosing. Yes, this is where I'm going. So
Yeah.
thoughts on those two metaphors?
Yeah, you're really playing in the realm of like understanding that everything is energy.
Hmm.
And like you say, the signpost, you're driving along the way and it's like, oh, I am going the right way, the affirmation of it, the affirmation of it. Yeah, those are markers that you're in resonance with the belief,
Hmm.
with the affirmation, with what you put out. But I think there's something important to talk about in that you just said, which is, this really is a dimensional conversation. Everything is dimension 3D, 4D, 5D. And the surface level kind of 340 is that very hopeful affirmation of like, I need this to fix my life. I need this to be the change, like that top level. And then I think 4 to 5D really starts getting into the understanding that if I'm going to affirm something or I'm going to have something on my wall that's creating affirmation, creating a word track, like projecting something into my reality, naturally what has to happen is whatever you are out of alignment for that affirmation or that word track for is going to reveal itself to be seen. So I'll give you an
Yes, it
example,
will.
right? Where it's like, oh, I want more money. It's like, okay, cool. Now all of these things are going to start popping up for you to start clearing the money beliefs that you have that don't
Yeah.
actually allow you to have that affirmation. It's at work, it's happening, and people are like, it's not working. It's like, what are you talking
Oh no,
about?
that is it working.
Yeah.
That is the sign it's working. Yes.
And that's the piece
Yeah.
I think for affirmation people need to remember is like, it's not just about affirming something. It's about affirming something and then get ready for the action. Get ready for the tipping point. Get ready for the awareness that you need, because that's actually how affirmation works.
Yes. Yes. It's like it makes me think of the affirmational statement or the prayer, you might call it, whatever you want to call it, is come what may, right? So like you say, this is what I want, come what may. What that does is actually opens up the pathway for all of those things to come in. And one
Yeah.
of my biggest pet peeves in the spiritual community is when people are like, oh yeah, well, you receive all these tests to make sure that that's what you want. Like once you affirm what you want and once you like create that commitment to it, the tests come. But I believe that it's exactly what you just said, right? It's not so much like testing, are you sure you want that? Are you sure you want that? It's really about, okay, this is an alignment, that is not. Deal with
Yeah.
it, right? Like
Yeah.
you said you wanted this, so clean up your shit, right? Like let's
Yeah.
make this happen. And it's actually a very supportive thing rather than it being like, oh, I'm going to test you and I'm going to poke and see if all the holes. It's like, okay, let's do this. But here's what we got to do, right? That
Yeah.
support is very much there, that universal support. Um, Call it whatever you want, right? God, spirit, source, universe, dead relatives, like I don't know, whatever
Yeah.
you ascribe to, but like the support is there for you. And that support isn't necessarily always going to feel like a giant hug. It's going to be like, yeah, girl, let's roll up our sleeves and do this thing. I got your back. But you gotta show up too.
Yeah, and I think the other part of the conversation too that's important to mention is there is a part of it where it does get easier. You know, there is what we're talking about here is the part that is seemingly chaotic or very, whoa, like what's happening? I said I wanted this thing and all these
Yeah.
terrible things are happening. But I think there's also a part of it when you start building a relationship to affirmation, you start having a relationship to what we're
Mhm.
talking about here. Like, oh, this is a part of the process. This is normal. Of course, this
Yeah.
is happening because I'm going this way. That's when it gets easier because you're no longer in this weird affirmation, do the heavy lifting for me. You're more in this cohesive experience between energy and affirmation, what you desire. And it does get to be easier. You're way more aware of it. The triggers don't, they're not as whoa anymore. It's like, of course this is happening because I just affirmed that. So I think that's important for people to remember too, is it doesn't have to be so hard all the time.
No, it doesn't. And I do feel like that is where it gets quite magical, right? When it's like, okay, like the first couple times you're like, I got to face this thing. And it feels like it might feel like heavy lifting. But what actually gets to be really fun about that is a lot of times it's just the acknowledgement of it. And there's not really anything more that you need to do other than say, like, okay, yes, I do need to acknowledge that. Yes, I do need to shift my mindset. Yes, I do need to shift my actions, right? Like whatever that slight shift is, and then things start to move more easily and it becomes really magical experience, but it's not that like surface level kind of artificial magical experience that I think a lot of people are. um, I don't even know if they're knowingly doing it, like unknowingly, I think
I
just
don't think
kind of,
they are. Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
that's that whole like I'm waking up, like 340 levels of consciousness. It's like, whoa, affirmations. And then there's this whole draw to it. And then if you don't do anything with it, you get burnt by it or like it's not working. And you're right, like they're not going to the next level of actually integrating that for themselves to expand beyond it.
exactly. Yeah. So, okay, so I feel like you and we could chat about this all day long. Obviously, we've got some fun things to talk about. And if you're enjoying this conversation, I would say absolutely come to the spirituality conference. So that's coming up again. I'm going to show because I don't need all the things showing at the same time. That's fine. So we are going to be doing this conference on July 9th and 10th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Central. Each one of these topics here: advance your sacred space, connect with your devotion, prepare with your intuition, share with gratitude, strengthen your affirmations, as we'll be talking about with Danielle, and enhance your visioning. These are all 2-hour sessions, and you can get each single session for $49 or a full 2-day pass for $289. So I would love to have you guys come and join us. Love to see you there. And sorry, I've lost my lost our faces. There we are. Okay, and we're back. So one final question for you, Danielle. Why is it important for people to strengthen their relationship with affirmation on this path of spirituality?
I think it's really important because in our society, we believe affirmation is the spoken word or is the thought. And that really is what is, what we think and what we speak is what's really happening. And, or, part of that is then the energy conversation, which is I'm affirming I'm going the right way. The signs are showing up for me. It's really important that they actually build a real relationship, a holistic relationship to what affirmation is, not just a word track, not just a sign, but the whole encompassing energetics about it. I think is so important because I really think that's what allows us to get our desires that we want or have the shifts that we want in our life if we're using the understanding of affirmation.
I love it. Yes. I'm so excited to
Me
have
too.
you be a part of this experience and to dive even deeper with you. So if you are watching these sessions, we open all of them with a conversation, just like Danielle and I are having right now. It's a moderated panel. So we have some specific questions we're asking, but it really it goes deep like this, to get you warmed up. And then we'll have our featured mentor for this one. It's going to be Nyoka Samuels. She's amazing. Just beautiful, beautiful soul. Cannot wait to have her guiding us through the reflective workshops where we really get to take a look and say, okay, well, where am I with this, right? Like we warm everybody up and then it's like, where am I with this right now? Like, let's be truthful about it. Am I really working in alignment with this? Is there room for me to strengthen it? Or am I like way off? Like, I didn't even know. Right. I was today old when I realized that this is what affirmation really is, right? Same thing for all those topics. And then we go into breakout rooms and we have facilitators in there to support you actually like taking that work forward. So it's a really interactive, engaging, and super fun, while also transformative experience. So we will see you there. I'm going to put the link up one more time here, and I will try to make sure that's also in the show notes. For everyone, just go to nextglobalevents.com/spirituality builder. If you're coming because you saw this, make sure to click that you're a guest of Danielle. And yeah, absolutely excited to see everyone there. All right.
Very exciting.
See
Thank
you all there.
you.
Bye. Thank you, Danielle.
Bye.